Hello, my name is Coleman Mars, and today I will be doing a presentation on social engineering. Afterwards, I will be demonstrating a tool called the Social Engineering Toolkit. Okay, so social engineering. What is social engineering? Social engineering is the art of manipulating people so they give up confidential information. Okay, so why do hackers and penetration testers use social engineering? Well, they use social engineering because they can offer a great return and they can be accomplished without software and hardware vulnerabilities. Okay, and as we'll talk about later, social engineering focuses on the human attack vector. All right, so why use social engineering? Because social engineering is very effective. Okay, even a very hardened network can be penetrated by using social engineering. In order to combat this, people have to be trained, and if people aren't trained, then it can become very easy to penetrate a network. Social engineering involves less hardware and software exploits. For instance, this is because, for instance, it's way easier for someone to just give you their username and password compared to cracking it. Social engineering tactics. So the first tactic we have is in-person social engineering. An example of this is face-to-face conversations. Next, we have over the internet. Okay, for example, phishing, and we have spamming attack. And we have over the phone, which is vishing. And then we have another example would be threatening someone. Okay, this could either be in face-to-face or it could be over the phone. So I have an example, saying your boss isn't going to be happy when I tell him that you held up the development because you want to just give me this information. Okay, so I'm basically threatening this person that he's going to get in trouble with his boss, so he's probably more inclined just to give me information so he doesn't get in trouble because he doesn't want to get in trouble. The next would be asking for help. Politeness can go a very long way in social engineering attack. Okay, just being polite, just asking for it, maybe just joking around with them a little bit. If you get that vibe from them, basically just kind of fill them out a little bit and see whether or not it'd be a better scenario to threaten them or to ask for help. Also, tricking the individual. This is what I will be doing in my social engineering attack. So I have an example pretending to be an admin from another branch or another area. And in my example, I will be pretending to be an organization targeting an individual. Social engineering tools. So the first tool I'm going to talk about is Maltego. So I won't be demonstrating Maltego, but it's really important that you know about this tool. So Maltego allows attackers or penetration testers to put together open source information, and then they can graph it to gain greater insight. So basically, when you do footprinting, you're going to get a ton of information, and a lot of this information you're really not even going to know what to do with. Some you are, but a lot you aren't because you're going to have so much information. So Maltego helps you organize that information and help you better see like a bigger picture. The next is the Social Engineering Toolkit, SET for short. And here I just have listed all the tools inside of SET, okay, because it's a toolkit. So we have the mass phishing tool, which I will be demonstrating. We have the spear phishing tool. We have the infectious media generator. We have the payload and listener, which I will also be using. And also, SET can add third-party modules. And last but not least, we have the email spoofer, which I will also be using in the tutorial. Okay, additional spoofing software, caller ID spoofer, and burner phone. Great tools. Social engineering footprinting. Okay, so I talked a little bit about Maltego. Let's talk a little bit about what it involves, what footprinting involves. So it's open source research. Basically, it allows an attacker to find different ways to exploit people. So what we want to target is we want to find target websites, organizational websites, individual websites. That kind of goes on with social media like blogs, um, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any kind of social media. Okay, and from there we want to gather contact information, and we want to get general information about the individual. So just social media, for example, is a great tool. Um, a lot of people tend to overshare on social media. They tend to share a lot of personal details. They definitely share a lot of their hobbies and stuff like that, which is not a bad thing to do, but it's very great material for a social engineering attack. And also, people just tend to add people that don't even know on social media. So it may even be pretty easy for you to just friend request them from a fake account and gain access to all their basically all the information that they're posting, even if they're on private. They might add you, and that could be great. The tools that we can use to gather information on target websites and stuff is ICANN and ARAN. Those are great tools. So here we just have the sources from my paper, and also for this demonstration. All right. So let's get right into our demonstration. Okay, so first thing we want to do, we want to pull up the social engineering toolkit. Okay, so here we see our menu. Mainly we're going to focus on the first one, social engineering attacks. Okay, let's press 1. So before we get too far into it, I want to give a little bit of backstory on my attack and how we're going to orchestrate my attack. Okay, so how we're going to use this tool to orchestrate it. So basically, after doing footprinting on an individual, okay, it doesn't really matter if he's part of an organization or not. He may be someone part of an organization that's relatively important. Okay, so after doing research, I found on social media, he added me on social media, and I found out that he loves music. Okay, he constantly posts about Spotify, how much he loves Spotify. He also talked about one of his favorite artists, right, Drake. He's talking about how he goes to his concerts and everything like that. So basically, I'm going to spoof that I'm Spotify, and I'm going to send him a crafted email, basically saying I'm Spotify and that a new album just got released to Spotify. One of Drake's album. Come download it, check out the music. So hopefully that will entice him a lot. But that's a little backstory about how we're going about this attack. So we're going to use set. So the first thing we're going to use is we're going to create a payload and listener. Okay, number 4. All right. From there, we're going to use number 2. This spawns a command shell on the target. So we're going to say 2. Alright, now it's asking us for the IP address for the payload listener. lhost, right, that stands for localhost. So we say, what's our IP address? We just type in ifconfig. Okay, this is our local IP address. The target in this scenario is going to be on the same internal IP address as me. So I'm just going to use my internal IP address. If the attacker was not, I would use my external IP address, right? So we're going to put 192.168, 192.168.176.129. Alright, enter the port for the reverse listener. I'm going to use port 446. Okay, so now it's generating the payload. Alright. You can see the payload is generated, and this is where it's located. Okay. So we want to go to this location. Alright. And we'll check to see if it's there. So here's our payload. Okay. So I just want to copy this payload. And I'm just going to put it in the desktop so we can just see it easier. Here's our payload. Just going to rename it. Okay, as we talked about earlier, I'm using Spotify, so I'm just going to, so I'm going to change it to new playlist executable. Okay, so basically that is what my target is going to, I'm going to get my target to download this. Let's go ahead and spawn the listener. Okay, so I'm gonna. My goal is to get the target to download this. All right. So before we send the crafted email, you see that it's listening. Okay, great. We're gonna put this down here. Before we send the crafted email, we want to 1, craft the email, and 2, I'm using a website that's going to spoof Spotify. So I'm going to use the website and I'm going to craft the email. Okay. So let's start with the website. This is my website server. Okay. So if we just go ahead and look right here. Alright, this is my website. Okay, I've already spoofed Spotify. So this is what I will be redirecting my target to. Okay, and basically they will download my payload. So I have my payload right here already that I imported. Alright. So basically I'm going to walk you through how to do this. So I just quickly pull up. This is actually Spotify. This is Google Spotify. Right. This is Spotify. This is the home page. Okay. So you have sign up, get Spotify for free. I changed some stuff around just to make it easier direct my target to download it. When we see an actual when we get into it, whenever he pulls this up, it's going to automatically ask him to download it. But just in case he clicks out of it or whatever, I went ahead and deleted download up here and just changed it to something else. And I changed this to download with the actual payload. So I clicked on it, right, this is the payload. Okay. So this is my spoofed website. Okay, now you see it says colemansoftware.com. Alright, because this is the actual domain name that I have. It's very easy. If you wanted to just go out and purchase a domain name off Google or whatever, and just try to make it as close as you can to whatever you're spoofing. So, for instance, for Spotify, I would just change it to, maybe I'd say Spotify, but change the F and the T, right? So it looks very similar. Most likely someone's not going to catch it. Or maybe I could even get away with Spotify and then, just put some stuff like this on the end tag, and maybe Gmail or maybe Google will give that to me. I don't know, but that's the easiest way to spoof your URL. Okay, so that would make it very, very believable. Okay, so as you see, we have that. how I got it, I simply just went to Spotify, click Save As, okay, and here's the HTML file, right? So if I just downloaded it, and I have it now. Let's go to my website. This is the actual one that I've already downloaded. So let's go ahead and edit it with a text editor. Alright, and as you can see, this is just the HTML. I added this right here. This will start the automatic download, as you can see. So basically when this website loads, it's going to go ahead and request them to download it. So just add that in and you're pretty much ready to go for your website. So the next step is to craft the email. Okay, so let's do that. So basically, to craft the email, all I did was register for Spotify. Okay, and let's see, let's go. That's my target. So if I just go to Spotify, just find an email basically. Just kind of take this information, right, and basically the same way as I downloaded it. You want to get that information, and basically what I did was, this is my email. Okay. All I did was got that information that you can kind of see at the bottom. It's just like the generic information. Got a text editor. Alright, just Googled this picture. Okay. And I basically put right here you can see at the bottom left, right, it's redirecting to Coleman software. It's redirecting my spoof page. So basically, that's all you really need. Just put in HTML, just like we did earlier. Okay. And this right here is just this right here is just the HTML of it. Okay. So let's get into it. Go back to Social Engineering Tools. Okay. Let's go to Social Engineering Tax. Before we get into it, one more second. Let's go ahead and configure SendMail. So SendMail, as I talked about earlier, is spoofing your email. SendMail is going to be able to let you do that. So we're going to go, if SendMail is not downloaded, we're going to apt get install SendMail. Okay, and we just run that. Okay. And after that's downloaded, if SendMail is not already downloaded, we will just go ahead and we don't need to configure anything. We just do service SendMail. We'll check the status of it. You can see SendMail is already running for me. Right here, it's active. Okay. If SendMail wasn't active, you just type in service SendMail restart. Okay. And you just hit enter. Restart it. It takes a minute. SendMail is pretty slow. Alright. So we see that SendMail is running. It's active. it's good to go. And now what we want to do is make sure SendMail is on for the social engineering toolkit. So to do that, we will go the set toolkit, set config. Okay, open it up in a text editor. Control F. Type in SendMail. Equals. Alright, this will be off beforehand. Just make sure this is on. Change it to on. Go ahead and save that. Okay, so now we have SendMail running. It's active. It's downloaded. We go to the social engineering toolkit config. We turn SendMail on. As we can see right here, define whether or not to use SendMail for spoofing emails. Obviously, we want to spoof our email to make it very believable. So that's done. Okay. So let's now get into it. Let's go ahead and choose number 5, the mass mailer attack. Okay, we can see SendMail is on. It's ready to go. SendMail is already running, so we don't need to start SendMail. So we'll just say no. Okay, so it's asking us what we want to do. We want to send to a single individual, right? Because this is more of a spear phishing attack email. So let's target one. We're going to target one individual. Okay. SendMail to. Okay, this is going to be the email address that we have collected from our footprinting. Okay. For this example, I'm just going to use this email. Okay. I go ahead and hit enter. So now it says use a Gmail account for your email attack, or use your own server, or open relay. Sorry. So we're gonna press number 1. We're gonna use Gmail. Okay. Your Gmail email address. So this is the email address of us, right? So I'm gonna use just an old email address. Right? Okay. Boom. Alright, the name that the user received. Okay, this is part of the spoofing, so this is very important. We want it to look just like Spotify. Okay, so it's like Spotify. If you go and look on Spotify, their emails will say Spotify, no reply. If I can type reply. Okay. And add some space, and we're just going to put the date, Tuesday, 26, 2019. Alright, hit enter. Okay, email password. This is really important. Gmail does not allow applications to just, you can't just type in your normal password. So what you have to do is you have to go and you have to type in what is it? Google account. Okay, log in your Google account. You want to go to security, and then you want to go to app passwords. Okay, you're going to log in. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to add an account. Log in. Takes a minute to log in. So you have to make sure that two-step verification is already set up, or else you can't do this. So basically, you're going to select an app, just choose other, then you're going to generate the password, okay? And you're going to use that password. So I've just generated a password. Alright. Paste it in. Hit enter. Flag this message a high priority. So no. Attach file. No. Inline file. No. Email subject. Okay. Let's say I want to do check out Drake's new playlist or something, album, right? Send this as HTML or plain. We want HTML. Okay, so this is very important. It says enter the body of the message. This is not a full HTML document. As I have right here, I already have it, just the body. Alright, not the whole HTML document. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. And throw it in here. Now it said to hit end in all caps when finished. So just hit a return, hit end in all caps, return. Okay, set has finished sending the email. Alright, return to continue. Alright, so we are done. We are finished. We sent the email. Now we wait for the attacker to open our email and download our payload. So let's go over to our target. So this is our target. You see, we just got an email. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Alright, so right here we see, let's look at this real quick. Check out Drake's new album. Let's see who it's sent from. It's sent from Spotify. No reply. This looks just like Spotify. Okay. Alright, and I just have a link in the picture. So just click on the picture. Alright, and now we see right here. It's already popped up. You say, do you want to download the new playlist? Like, of course. And also this will be different when spoofed if you buy a different domain name. Let's go ahead and run it. You say, oh yeah, are you sure? Of course. Let's run it. Downloading. No big deal. Let's go looking right here. Boom. We got a hit. Okay. So what does it say? It says a new session has been opened. Okay. This is us. This is our target. Alright. So now sessions I.1. Alright. Let's open it up. Now we have command line access. Okay. Let's go to the root directory. ls. Boom. Right here. We have everything. We have program files. We have all their documents. Everything. Users. Alright. So from here, we can do just about anything because we have pretty much full control. So what we would want to do is we would want to ensure that we maintain this control. So for instance, doing things like, making sure that whenever he restarts his computer that this is on the boot up menu, maybe adding another backdoor, really anything you need to do. The social engineering aspect of this is over because we successfully penetrated the network. Alright, we penetrated the machine. Alright, thank you very much.